Hi everybody, Paul McFarland here again with another look at Chiat Day, going back to 1979. Jimmy Carter was still president. Anyway, this is Communication Arts, March, April, 1979. They were, every 2 months a little thing came out. And what's so cool is the ads in here too. Ads for Strathmore Paper Company. Giant file cabinets store art and copy together in two-sided saddle envelopes. Imagine an ad for a file cabinet, right? The Liberated Letter 79, new typefaces, color lettering, Pantone colors. This is Letraset. What was Letraset? It was type that came in clear sheets, and you put it on and you rubbed, and it went down on the board. And if you needed a lot of the same characters, they put extras in there, but that was wild. The typefaces, like, Eras Bowl, it was so big, an American typewriter. Plantin. That was kind of like the smart, Fallon McElligott used a lot of that in the early days. A lot of people did, because it was not quite Times Roman, it was not quite something else. What else was a biggie back then? Oh God, Avant-Garde. Garmin. Palatino. Wow, that wore out so quickly. Bedoni. El Greco. Frankfurter. Yeah, I worked with a lot of those. I'm really been in an interesting place. When I started in advertising, the old technology was still there, but I'm still going strong with all the new. It's great. The annual Illustrators Workshop and Seminar in 1979. If you're of a certain age, you might know the names like Alan Kober, who did a lot of pointillism, Mark English, Bernie Fuchs, Bob Heindel, Fred Oatmaze, and Robert Peake. These are people who were draftsmen. They were artists. They could draw, Pinwheel color proofing and short run printing customers. Wow. Pinwheel Studio. Way before, digital short run printing. You used to have paper samples in it from paper companies to get you to think, ooh, what is this paper? There's a die cut. There's a die cut with the paper. Ooh, hello. And they put that in the book because, see, this is what's called perfect bound. You can put anything in a perfect bound book, any kind of insert. And they'd have all kinds of paper stuff. And this is just showing you one that's kind of a high gloss stuff. And see the idea of a close-up. Made paper for close-up excellence. Oh, what's that? And you open it up and it's like, oh, a bug. Yeah, gosh, the color guides. Kohinoor, oh my gosh. Art pen, a totally new sketching experience. Look at that, it's like a fountain pen. It's designed for this kind of artwork. If, I'd be referencing a bootleg Yes album cover, you probably don't know. But it's that same kind of style where, see, you're drawing with a pen. And of course, drawing with a pen is good because you can make a photostat of it and you got camera-ready art. See? Crescent Classic. I'm getting to the work, don't worry. England's Gentleman. David Gentleman. Designer. Showing work. But I'm not here to talk about design, even though it's sometimes pretty interesting. This is actually very interesting stuff. See, the thing is, if you don't learn how to study the past, because past is prologue, the kind of changes that happened in design, if you notice the way it changes and what kind of things affect change going forward, you're that much closer to predicting what's going to happen next. Believe it or not. Oh God, Marty Evans, a photographer. See, they're going to have a mix in here of illustrators, photographers, and advertising. And this guy took a lot of ad photographs. It was a big deal. They were do a photograph. That was a big production with a lot of stuff in it. Nice Friday, actually. It's not too bad. I wish you could just sit here with me and I'd pass it to you. You can look at it, but this is the closest thing we can do. Oh, gosh. Michael Brown, illustrator, who did a lot of things like this. Signs for the Times, an article about colonial-style signs done for new businesses, but same kind of thing. Yeah, see a lot of variety there. These are old-style signs that were done for new things in new ways. Bob Kuntz, another illustrator. Also designer, letterheads. But designing letterheads was a really big thing. There were awards all the time for creative letterheads and business cards. We still do business cards, but how many people really use letterheads anymore? I think it would be amazing if people actually sent letters on beautifully designed letterheads. But the thing is, the problem with letterhead is, how do you know that if you send a letter anywhere, that it'll get to anyone anymore? Right? People work from home. Do they have an office? Do people actually go to an office? Do they get office mail? And if they're not going in the office, you're not going to get their home address. Where do you send an actual letter? It's not about not wanting to do letters. It's more about the system around it, isn't it? Okay, Corporate Graphics Incorporated in here. These things were only every couple of months, but they were so loaded with detail of great work from companies, individuals. Oh, wow. There was that style of illustration where you would illustrate something and the part of it would just disappear and you could do layers like that. I'm not sure if I ever did anything like that exactly. This is all stuff for Utah State. Now, here we go. The actual Hy Yablonka. Now, in one of my first Chiat Day videos, I was holding up black and white Xeroxes of this in the binder. I finally got the original. Now, this was in CA. You can get some back issues from CA. That means they've got quite a few back there, and they're making some money selling them. Hy Yablonka. Yeah, he was the guy who hired Lee Clow, okay? And some of the ads that have been in the Chiat Day books, he was the art director of those, but also creative director. Like I said here, Hy has a great talent to deliver a selling message with the restraint to say just enough. I guess his greatest strength and value to the agency is that he continues to grow and accept new ideas. That's Jay talking about Hy. Yeah. Yeah, see, in 1979, they were really looking at a new structure and everything. And even here, where it says, Hy said, I have a lot of faith because we have some damn good people. I look around and there's talent in every corner, not just in creative, but in media, research, the business end, wherever you want to go. We've never had better account executives, people who are tuned in and demand a high level of creativity. That's PR, but that's absolutely the fact that Chiat Day was not a department, it was an agency. And if you look at the sense you get from Mischief, you get the idea that everyone there buys into that and is enjoying themselves. They're account people, they're not there just to push, pens and keep the client happy. Everyone's there on a mission, and that is the mark of greatness. In my book, in my binder. I don't know if I will ever have a Mischief binder. Probably not. I can just grab things off of the screen and put them somewhere on a website. I don't know. It doesn't do as much for me. Yeah. See, the thing is, he also says here, I'm not all that comfortable with the new structure at this point in time, and I'm sure that Jay's not either. See, they're the ones who have put it in motion. They're not comfortable with it, not being comfortable. but we know it's working. We know it's working. Yamaha is a marvelous piece of business, and the creative is run by Lee Clow and David Butler. Lee, who went, and David, who just wanted to be a writer. Jay and I poking our noses in from time to time, then delightedly walk away saying, hey, that's nice. Maybe we'll make an occasional suggestion, but that's about it, unless we're invited. On the last Yamaha commercial, they created it, but were too involved in other Yamaha work to follow it through. So I covered for them and went up and shot it by invitation. It's a hard business. It's a really hard business to run. And when you have a clear mission and an essence about what you're doing and everyone buys into it, even when it's uncomfortable, it matters. Yeah, I should be showing more, I know. The Suntory stuff, like this poster was part of the presentation to kind of say it's Suntory explained. It's a Japanese Scotch whiskey. Never ran. Alaska Airlines, that was the Seattle office too. And the original Honda commercials, with the guy, he's got a Honda and he pulls up to the girl with a Honda and he's curious about it and he's kind of like coming on to her, she's being careful. Can I get in? Yeah, but leave the door open. Can I put my leg in? Okay. And eventually he puts his hand, on her hand and asks her if she would accompany him to a Lithuanian film festival. Your car or mine? Morton J. Chiat wrote that. Yeah, the Yellow Pages kind of stuff. Equitable savings, The phone number, 632-RAPE. See a commercial for a rape relief program in the city of Seattle. See, they had a Seattle office, but LA ran things. The rape relief program of the city of Seattle opens with subjective camera walking across a dark street to a lighted phone booth. Woman's footsteps and sobbing are heard. As she dials the phone, the numbers appear as a super and even turns to R to A and so on. She's going to be 632 RAP. You get it. And so on. Announcer just says, the rape relief 24-hour crisis line. You hear the woman's voice, hello, I need help. Announcer, if you ever need us, we're here. Now, you understand how that could have been awful? You think of a lot of pro bono work and, charity work like this, like a rape prevention line. I mean, that's not going to make you money, is it? It could be very, very, very manipulative. It could show things, it could use a lot of technique. But this is very, very, very simple. And the fact that you had phone booths back then, and the fact that, phone numbers were everything. 632 RAPE. Because what happens as she's typing it, she's putting in the numbers. She's dialing the numbers, but the numbers turn to letters. A very simple, cool thing. RAP2, and the 2 turns to an E. Because if you know your keyboard, even on your iPhone. That could have been really, really awful, but they had restraint and nuance and simplicity. The minimal amount of words, not to be presumptuous, just say, here it is, and respect a very sensitive topic. I think that's really important. And how many people know that when they did Nissan, Built for the Human Race, they did it already for People's Bank. Remember, FDIC and the human race. Much better here, I think, actually. Yeah, all the People's Bank stuff, which were very, very Doyle Dane Bernbach, I think, in a lot of ways, the way that was done, because that's showing that bit of strange humanity and layout cleanliness. Very DDB. Oh, and this version of that photo of Steve Tillich was used in a thing. I've never seen anything like this before. Steve Tillich, superstar. Pioneer had, because remember, Pioneer was basically made car stereo, but they had a service station, a service center, and that was the guy who ran it, and they got as much mileage out of that as they could to tell a story of what Pioneer was. Yeah, music, a sight for sore ears. Mitsubishi speakers. See, Mitsubishi, anything they made an ad for it. And then here, of course, I've shown these before. You've seen them before, Motorcycle Gang, and, is air sick. Still hungry but no longer thirsty, which is a way of saying we've been landing businesses. And now I'll show these. These are in color because what I had before was black and white. You can find this online. That's the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. And the Biltmores in different cities were these almost Rococo style lush things. And then up on the second floor, the entrance to Chiat, the hallway with the tile and the cactus, that kind of took you through the H shape of the building. You get to the offices. Then you see cubicles, the conference room, but see, no doors. The doors have all been removed. See, that was the architect's idea, to really have an open flow. And then you see Hy Yablonka's office, which became Lee Clow's office. Hy had the dentist chair, barber chair, whatever he sat in at his board, but that same couch and coffee table, that same room that I was in a few times that day. And then we have just another office. So that was the offices that they were in they moved in there, 78? Maybe the year before this? 77. I'm not sure. Someone tell me. But that's where they did all the famous work of Chiat, LA, until, they moved first to the warehouse, on there. But that's where they were when I absolutely said, I've got to find out who these people are. That's where it happened. And of course we have here a couple ads. See, for the Biltmore. They were doing ads for them, and they went from there. And buy our genuine imitation ketchup. Truth tastes better than fiction. See? See who that is? Hain. Small little clients and do great work. And then stuff that Lee was working, art director for this, fly first class. Ooh, snowmobiles and, the racing things done as cartoons and, right? That's another thing Lee did. Bold, simple. That's Lee. And Mark Doyle did such great writing on all these things. He was great. And of course, more ads from the Yellow Pages, Yamaha, Life Savings, where they have the guys talking and they say, John, this is a guy. He says, I'm not an actor. I'm a 74-year-old man in some financial difficulty. I've spent over 40 years as a top-line executive for 3 of the largest corporations in America. I retired about 2 years ago with what I thought was plenty to see me through retirement and some comfort. But it just wasn't enough. What with inflation, medical expenses, short stock market losses, I have one piece of advice for young people. The time to start saving for retirement is when you start working. The company that asked me to make this commercial, U.S. Life Savings, is a pretty good place to do it. You stop by at one of their offices, they'll give you a free copy of the book, A Complete Guide to Retirement. I'm glad I had a chance to make this commercial for U.S. Life Savings. I needed the money. Isn't that great? So then the other one with the actor, John Carradine. I'm an actor. I made a lot of money. Well, I've spent a lot of money. Cars, boats, usual things. But if I had to do it all over again, I'd put more of it away in a safe place. Like the one, I'm doing John Huston there, not John Carradine. Sorry about that. Do you know who those people are? I was doing John Huston. The chips are red, the holster black. Anyway, John Carradine says, I'm an actor. I made a lot of money, but I spent a lot of money. Cars, boats, usual things. But if I had to do it all over again, I'd put more of it away in a safe place, like the one that asked me to do this commercial, U.S. Life Savings. Yes, I'm an actor, but at this moment, I'm not acting. I'm not an actor. I'm an actor. Those two are just so good. I've got Pioneer car stereos, the Cavemen. Yeah, in the beginning, it was not easy for man to take his musical on. Camera pulls back, reveal a caveman dragging a cavewoman who's playing Lady of Spain on an accordion. I mean, they were insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, and then there's more ads, more paper ads, and, hey, an ad for an art table. And paper and film, and we're essentially out. Back issues, wow. The back issue is like 1973. I don't know if they even have any of those. I might pick up a couple more of these. These are so good. Anyway, honestly, I'm feeling a little tired today. I was out late seeing Shakespeare in the park, and we'll run down today. But the main thing is that book is so wonderful. Learn your history. Because the point about today is still always true. I say this in every video. Good writing, good design always works. But you have to care about great writing, great design, so it works. Hy Yablonka was so important to the early glory days of Chiat. And again, he hired the guy who took it from there, Lee Clow. So I'm so proud to share that with you today. This is a long video because I went very slow through it. But I hope you notice this is important. Doing great work and knowing what great work is and how to support great work. How to care about the craft of writing and design is everything. More coming tomorrow, though. That was just a little wonderful detour of getting a treasure from the past. And I hope if any of you who watched the whole thing, you enjoyed it half as much as I did, because that means I enjoyed it twice as much as you.